Hey there, you're tuned in to MEA Worldwide. I'm your host, Alana Jordan, and today I'm so excited to be sitting down with the phenomenally talented Bree Klauser, who plays Matal on C, the incredible show on Apple TV+. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be back in Los Angeles.
We're so excited that you were able. You're so busy too, running around. So we're very excited that you were able to come see us before you fly out even later on this afternoon. Now, this has been kind of a whirlwind for you too, because this is kind of your first big major role, and this one's also pretty unique too, because you're one of 3 of the actually real visually impaired actors on this show, where all of the characters are visually impaired, but it's such a unique show because it's showing how strong and awesome these characters are. Why was it important for you to be a part of a show that is so unique and breaking these boundaries?
Well, I think that accurate representation in the media of people with disabilities, people of any kind of diversity, is very important. The statistics say that only about 2% of roles in media are people with disabilities, and like even less of that is played by actual actors with disabilities. So the fact that this show had about 3 to 4 recurring characters that were blind or low vision is huge. It's like, it may seem like, oh, but everyone was blind, but it's like, it's such a big step. And I know for a fact that while they're working on season 2, that they are working on to get those numbers of inclusion higher. Like, I'm getting calls from a bunch of low vision actor friends being like, oh my God, I got a tape for C, can't wait. And I'm like, I'm rooting for all of them.
Oh, that's so exciting. Now, did you have any feedback from the other actors kind of asking for your feedback as well on set? Because I heard that they actually even adjusted one of the scenes based on some of your feedback when you're running up with the
Yes. So the team was absolutely receptive to the feedback of low vision actors, not just the other actors as asking as a reference point, but even the directors. I was working on episode 4 and we were hauling ass down this hill, and I was just having trouble in general. Not to mention when we're acting the characters in C, we're not using our eyes at all. So even the vision I have, I just have to like kind of try to turn it off, or not look in any particular direction. So when you're doing this downhill sprint, so they were saying to pick up the pace, and I said to Anders, I was like, not gonna lie, even if we're running for our lives, these characters have never been in this terrain, in this territory, so they would still try to, with some caution, especially when we're using these sticks, to feel our way. And he's I think he's from Denmark. He was like, oh yes, you inspire me. and they adjusted it to make it more real, and I think it really shows in the final product. I think overall, you could see the care that was taken in the show to create this world. And I think the producers and directors will be the first one to say that this was a learning process and learning curve. And I feel like they're going to keep bringing this knowledge that I and Marilee and the blindness consultant Joe Strecce brought in, and just keep building on that, so that each episode and each season becomes more and more of an accurate portrayal inside this super fantastical world.
I love that you're so inspiring that you even inspire the director in this show. That's amazing. And part of what's so cool about this character and this inclusion that you're talking about is these characters are superhuman in a lot of ways, even though they see sight as being this kind of almost heretic or really full heretic.
Heresy.
Yes. Because no one else has, this ability that we in our society take for granted. But on this show, what we would see in our society as being kind of supernatural or otherworldly, or what the witch hunter should be going after, are characters like you, who are this kind of super empath.
Yeah, and so, I didn't even know that. So we find out that Paris is also a presage. Yeah. So I guess Matal is presage junior, I like to say. But yeah, we have presages like my character and Paris, who have an extra sensory ability to feel thoughts and intention. So kind of like an empath, like if you're a Star Trek fan, like Deanna Troi. When I was reading the character breakdown, I was like, oh, it's Deanna Troi. I got it. I know what this is. Like, I've always been a big fan of sci-fi and fantasy, so to work on this was just like a dream. And so then you have characters like the Sentiers, which we meet at the beginning of the show, who they can smell really good. Like, they can smell things from hundreds and hundreds of yards away. And then you have characters like Magra, who is an Iora, and the Witchfinder Iora, who can hear lies. So some of these powers you could think, oh, maybe humanity could evolve into it, and other things are like, I don't know, how did we get to that point where we can hear lies? So, but it's 600 years in the future, anything can happen. Our brains are big.
And post-virus too, that has kind of altered their brain. So
who knows?
It's still believable. I love that it has all of these supernatural
and
aspects.
It's our world. It's exciting to see, especially as we move along and we see the characters travel. The thing, especially since I'm from the Northeast and I know this show takes place, I'm like, oh, that could be Philadelphia, that could be Pittsburgh, that could be, I could see, even though we shot in Vancouver, I could see them like really trying to recreate what this land would look like hundreds of years later. And like, they went, I don't want to spoil episode 8, but where they end up, I'm like,
so good.
That looks like something else that I know. And it's I have my secret theories, cross-world theories.
Kind of talking about British Columbia and filming out there, too. I mean, there are these seriously intense scenes with this intense terrain. And, I mean, even from the very beginning, you're in this pouring down rain, and they have these big fight sequences. How do you prepare for something like that going?
You don't. So my first day on set, and I had never worked in a rain tower before. I mean, it's always raining in Vancouver, but movie rain is always more intense than...
Yeah, I mean, you're getting drenched.
Yeah, and that first day on set, I was like, I'm so happy I don't have lines in this scene, because I'm like, I'm just trying to keep my, like, contacts in my eyes right now, and just be in character, because it is intensely cold, that rain. And then I remember there was another scene, we did the rain as we were, like, walking up the hill in the snow. So, yeah, it is really something if you've never done it before, I don't know how you prepare for it. Just try to stay warm. And just like preparing for any other day on set, you just want to make sure you're well rested, eating the right things, exercising, keeping your stamina up. It was definitely on those weeks for me where there was 4 to 5 days in a row, it felt like a marathon. And coming from the theater, which I've done most of my work from, I akin theater acting to more like sprinting, because you go out on stage for an hour and a half and 2.5 hours and you just like let everything out and everything's linear, but then you get on set and it's like a marathon, because you're doing things out of order, you're waiting, you're going, you're waiting, you're going. You wake up at 2 a.m. and you wait for 3 hours, so it's a whole different world.
And kind of talking about your theater background, too, you have this amazing musical theater background, and you're also a singer as well. So tell us a little bit about that, too.
Yeah, so I grew up doing musical theater. I grew up 30 miles east of New York City, and I've been living in New York for about 10 years, and I got my BFA at Brooklyn College in acting, and I've been working with theaters off-Broadway, regionally, for a couple of years. I work with a theater company called Theater Breaking Through Barriers, which their mission is to champion actors with disabilities and otherwise able-bodied roles. So I've been working with them for a few years.
That's awesome.
And I've also worked as a singer-songwriter for many years. I had a project called Bree and Whatevers, which me and my partner, I started and he joined and he made it flourish, and we released an EP in 2017 called Homewrecker, and you can check out the music video for that on YouTube. Homewrecker by Bree and Whatevers.
Awesome. Now, you also did your own stunts in this role, too.
Yes, I was very insistent.
So that was your choice to do your stunts in this. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
you gotta check off the bucket list.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so I know it's getting a little into spoiler territory here, but you had a pretty intense scene with some really, really intense stunts. How do you prepare for something like that?
Well, I have to thank my stunt double, Tali Roden. So they have to give you a stunt double. They can't, because, stuff happens. But she actually helped me prepare to do the part of the stunt that I did. I would say that I did about 85% of what you see, and then she cleaned up that, because
That's impressive.
Yeah. So we what we did was super fun. She's so great. And like when I saw her, I was like, wow, you look like an athletic version of me. They did she's like even a little bit shorter than me. So I was like, where are they gonna find someone? And so they did a good job with that. So we became really close. And what we did to prepare for the particular stunt I did is we went to a outdoor cold water bath spa in Whistler called the Scandinave. It was so nice. It was so nice. But what we did was we did cold water plunges in, I want to say, I don't know what it was in Fahrenheit or whatever. It was like 55-degree Fahrenheit water. So that's like, it's not freezing, but it's pretty cold. I mean, and I think it went down to 50. Because the water that we're going in, we are on a raft. Like, none of this is fake. This is all real, people. There's all these sets that you see. This is not CGI. I think maybe the one thing that was CGI is, when we cross over the bridge. Like, they're not going to actually have people, like, fall.
Yeah.
And my friend was totally fooled. He was like, oh, my God, how did you walk that bridge? And I'm like, movie magic. But that river in episode 4, that is a real ice cold glacier fed river, and me and Jason and Luke Rodrigue, we got up all in that thing. And so it was really helpful to prepare and go to this cold water spa in a regular bathing suit. So then when I was in there and in my protective gear underneath my costume, that it was no big deal at all. Like, everyone was like, Dakota, are you sure you want to do it? It's going to be cold. And I'm like, I go to upstate New York. I swim in my freezing rivers. I know what I'm doing here.
You're like, I got this.
And it really wasn't that cold. And I remember doing it, and I said, I can do that better. I can do it again. Are you sure I get to, like, the perfectionist actor in me? And they're like, no, we got it. And so I'm thinking in the next week or so, after this airs, I have a video of the actual live stunt behind the scenes, and I'm gonna be sharing that on my Instagram.
Oh.
Since everything's out there. But definitely please watch the series first, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Well, teaser first.
Yeah.
That's
It's only
awesome.
8 episodes. You can binge that in like one
good.
afternoon. Come on.
Now, you mentioned too that you're a big Star Trek fan.
Oh,
and
yes.
with Picard coming out and Into the Dark, all these these shows. If you could play any character in the Star Trek universe, who would you want to play?
Well, I think I have the right eyes to be a Betazoid. Like, they have like this, like the tinted contacts. But yeah, to be in the Star Trek universe, a Vulcan, a Beta. I feel like, that type of humanoid. Although, like, man, it would be fun to be a Klingon. Like, that level of prosthetics. Although I don't know what they do nowadays. Back in the 80s, it was all like prosthetics, but who knows? Because
they do it, very realistic.
Because in C, like the eye thing, we didn't have those. That was all after.
Yeah,
that's all after. Which is like, that was really cool to see. I'm like, oh my God, where'd my pupils go? So it would be incredible. So dream job, putting it out in the universe to be part of any of the Star Trek things. Which I don't know if you know, Yadira, who plays Bone Lion, she is on Star Trek Discovery. So check that out on CBS All Access.
And also, of course, Jason Momoa famously plays Aquaman, the superhero. And since you're kind of a superhero-esque in this universe as well,
we're all
and you've already
heroes.
shown that you're shown that you can do all these amazing stunts. If you could play any superhero, what superhero would you want to play?
This is all about manifesting dream jobs, I see. I know that Netflix has been talking about doing a live action of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
So, not to typecast myself, but there is a blind warrior character named Toph. And she's an earthbender, and she's also really sassy too. So that would be like dream role, dream project. So Brian Konietzko, Michael DiMartino, right here.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Hashtag Avatar remake. Yeah. Also, yeah. I mean, as far as like superhero franchises, I would say I like the DC universe. I'm a big Batman fan. So I love that universe. And I like anime. I would say like I read more like anime and manga than comic books. But I saw Aquaman. It was a whole lot of fun. I can't wait for the follow-up movie. And it was a really big deal for him, and to be there with him on set from before and after, because he was already a big household name, but you have a movie that hits billions in the box office, you become a superstar, and I think he took that very gracefully.
Did he change at all on set before and after, do you feel?
He's a little busier, I feel like, but he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy to be around. He's always kept the morale up on set. He's always joking. And I remember we did block shooting. So we did episode 1, 2, and 3 block wrap party in November, like right before American Thanksgiving. And we all went to this bar, like not just like the principals, but like the background actors and the crew. Wow. And Jason just put down like an enormous bar tab, and we're just like, we're one big family, the Alkini tribe. That was what was really amazing about this show, is that there was no ego of the stars. There was no like separation. We were all working together, and especially in that first block of shooting, it was like a tribe, because even those background actors that you see so much in the beginning, they came with us. They traveled with us from mainland Vancouver to Vancouver Island, and they put them up in hotels. And it was such a communal experience. And then even like months afterwards with the release, I see them on Instagram and they're sharing photos of their experience. And it was just like, there was so much love in this show. And I hope that contagion, that virus of love, I hope that is seen when you watch it. Because, yeah, it's a cool, like, kick-ass action show, but it's also the show is about, like, love and relationships and families. And I can't wait to see what they do next with this. I know they're not in Vancouver anymore. They're in Toronto. And just sending my love to all of you. Hera, Nesta, Archie, Alfred, Jason, Yadi, all of you, if I've missed anyone. Absolutely. Oh, one person I have to talk about is Hera Hilmer. She's going to be a superstar. She plays Magra.
Yeah.
And to see, like, her character transform, and everyone's telling me, like, oh, I'm so shocked having a Magra and everything. And I'm like, I knew she was going to be incredible. And I thought she was fabulous in Mortal Engines. Yeah. And we became such good friends. Me and my partner visited her in Iceland. She's a native of Iceland. Her and her boyfriend hosted us. That's her boyfriend, nice. Sam Keeley, he's on that new show, 68 Whiskey, which is so exciting. I'm like, Sam, you're on my subway station. So they're such good people, and they're like, this couple's going to take over Hollywood. I can't wait for them.
I mean, I feel like you're taking over Hollywood, too. This show is absolutely incredible. Yeah. So be sure to check it out, Apple TV, see. And where can everybody keep up with you as well?
Follow me on Instagram. It's just my name, Bree Klauser, BreeKlauser. You could also find me at BreeKlauser.com. And I have later this spring a series coming out with Audible to be announced.
Ooh. Well, thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And of course, you guys can check out all of our celebrity interviews at MEA Worldwide. That's MEAWW.com. Until next time, I'm Alana Jordan. Have a good day.